Hi there, very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I'm Tracy Shilchi and here are the headlines. 2 Jawans are injured in firing with militants in Nagrota in Jammu and Kashmir. Firing began after terrorists attacked the army unit. Government moves amendment to change income tax law in Lok Sabha. Undisclosed income holders will be required to pay a 30% tax, penalty of 10% and surcharge of 33%. RBI relaxes withdrawal limits for deposits made in the new currency. Government slashes levies on point-of-sale machines following a spurt in demand. Haryana and Punjab leaders meet President over the Satlej-Yamuna link canal controversy. Haryana appeals for his intervention while Punjab asserts its right over the water. The attacker who injured 11 people on a rampage at the Ohio State University in the US is shot dead, identified as an 18-year-old student of Somali descent. First, the story coming in from the north where terrorists have attacked an army unit in Nagrota in Jammu and Kashmir. The attack took place at about 5:30 this morning. 2 Jawans have been injured and the firing is still going on, is what we are learning at the moment. Remember, Nagrota is the headquarters of the Army's 16 Corps. In view of the attack, the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway has been closed for traffic in the area. Also, administration has ordered shutting down of schools after the exchange of fire began this morning between army and terrorists in the area. We'll keep an eye out on the developing situation there. Meanwhile, of course, across the country, the talk about demonetization still not over, and the opposition protests over the issue remain unabated in the upper house even on Monday. Opposition parties reiterated their demand for the Prime Minister's presence in the House and accused the government of causing hardships to the people. Though government was quick to blame the opposition for the disruption, no business could be transacted as the standoff stalled proceedings.
The demonetization issue continued to trigger protests, putting the opposition and the government at loggerheads in the upper house of parliament. The opposition continued to insist on the Prime Minister's presence in the House and voice concern over the miseries and deaths allegedly caused by the decision.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी अगर कभी भी इस तरह की बड़ी अनाउंसमेंट करते हैं, सुनिए, तो हाउस जब भी मिलता है तो प्रधानमंत्री स्टेटमेंट देते हैं। ये पहली दफा हुआ कि इतनी बड़ी अनाउंसमेंट के बाद प्रधानमंत्री ने न इस हाउस में न दूसरे सदन में कोई स्टेटमेंट दिया है। ये पहली बात। दूसरी ये बात है,
इसलिए डिस्कशन शुरू कर रहे हो प्रधानमंत्री,
इसीलिए हमारी मांग पहले दिन से है कि चर्चा दोनों सदनों में होनी चाहिए, लेकिन जिस नेता ने, जिस लीडर ने अनाउंसमेंट की है वो मौजूद होना चाहिए, क्योंकि आम तौर पर यह बताया जाता है कि कैबिनेट को मालूम नहीं था, वित्त मंत्री को मालूम नहीं था, किसी को मालूम नहीं था। जब किसी को भी नहीं मालूम था तो जिसको मालूम नहीं था तो वो कैसे सवाल जवाब दे सकता है?
Who is objecting?
Prime Minister should come and answer. Why is the Prime Minister not answering? Why is the Prime Minister not coming?
This is not the way of expressing anger. Let us discuss.
Sir, where is the Prime Minister?
You ask your colleagues to discuss.
Yes, I have all my points. I have all my points. I want to know where is the Prime Minister to answer.
What is that?
Leading the government's charge, MOS for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi slammed the opposition parties for derailing the business of the House. Reiterating that the Prime Minister's fight against corruption and black money was far from over, Naqvi stressed that Prime Minister Modi will make an intervention during the debate on demonetization.
चर्चा शुरू करा दीजिए अभी और
अभी शुरू करें
अभी ये नोटबंदी पर जो है वो विरोध नहीं है, ये काले धन की नाकेबंदी का विरोध है। और ये लोग माफी किस बात के लिए मांग रहे हैं? प्रधानमंत्री इसलिए माफी मांगे कि काले धन के कुबेर कंगाल हो गए, इसलिए माफी मांगे कि जो भ्रष्टाचारी है वो बेनकाब हो गए, इसलिए माफी मांगे देश के कमजोर तबकों के सशक्तिकरण के लिए
The BSP, TMC and Congress members trooped into the well of the House, demanding the Prime Minister's response. BJP members also moved to the aisles and resorted to sloganeering against the opposition, as the chair tried to broker truce.
My dear honorable lady member, please, Suniye. Yes, you are saying that there is anger for the people. The best way to express anger is to resume the discussion. Best way to resume the discussion.
Kurin's assertion failed to pacify the agitated members. The stalemate washed away zero hour and question hour. As the war of words escalated, the chair adjourned the House till 2 p.m.
House is adjourned till 2 p.m. because the House is not being allowed to run.
बैंक से निकालने के लिए
Even the post-lunch session brought no respite. As the opposition and treasury benches part, the chair adjourned the House till Tuesday. With inputs from Vishal Dhaya and Panchanan Mishra, Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley tabled the Income Tax Act Amendment Bill in the Lok Sabha on Monday to penalise bank deposits made after the 8th of November. According to the bill, a declarant has to pay 30% tax on undisclosed income plus a 10% penalty. Additionally, a 33% surcharge will be levied on the tax amount. Further, the declarants have to deposit 25% of the undisclosed income in a scheme to be notified by the government in consultation with the RBI. Money from the scheme will be used for projects in irrigation, housing, toilets, infrastructure, primary education and health and livelihood so that there is justice and equality. Those who continue to hold on to undisclosed cash, existing provisions of the income tax law will be amended to provide for a flat 60% tax plus a surcharge of 25% of tax, which will amount to a levy of 75%. Assessing officers can also charge a 10% penalty in addition to the 75% tax.
Madam Speaker, I rise to move for leave of the House to introduce the Taxation Laws Second Amendment Bill 2016 listed in today's supplementary list of business.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor may say aye, those against may say no. I think the ayes have it, the leave is granted. The minister may
Madam, I introduce the bill.
Now, the RBI has relaxed withdrawal limits for deposits made in legal tender, and this has been done to encourage people to deposit valid currency notes in banks. If someone deposits valid legal tenders of rupees 2,000, 500, 1,000, 50, 20, 10 or 5 or 4,000 rupees, then the person's withdrawal limit will be raised by 4,000 rupees above the weekly withdrawal limit of 24,000 rupees. For current account holders, the withdrawal limit is 50,000 rupees a week for small traders. In a late evening circular, the Reserve Bank said that it has been reported that certain depositors are hesitating to deposit their funds into bank accounts in view of the current limits on cash withdrawals from accounts. Hence, the latest relaxation has been announced to increase cash supply. Government also slashed levies on point-of-sale machines that are being used by merchants in the wake of the currency crunch post-demonetization. The machines have now been made cheaper by about 16.5%. A notification of this effect was tabled by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley in Lok Sabha. The POS machines will now be exempted from 12.5% excise duty and 4% special additional duty till the 31st of March 2017. About 90% of such machines are imported. There has been a spurt in the demand for POS machines on account of cash crunch following the scrapping of the high-value currency notes of 500,000 by the government with effect from 8th of November. But of course, the opposition still going strong. Trinamool Congress chief and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will participate in a sit-in organized by the party in Lucknow to protest the centre's demonetization move. TMC Vice President and Rajya Sabha MP Mukul Roy was in the city to review the preparations and said that the sit-in is aimed at garnering the support of the people who are affected by it and are against the move. The party has also planned similar protests in Patna, Odisha, the northeastern states, Punjab and other state capitals to press the rollback of demonetization. Mamata Banerjee, who arrived in Lucknow on Monday, was received by Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav.
यूपी देश में यूपी इतना एक धरती है जो धरती हमारा देश में बहुत सारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनाया, अभी भी इधर से ही प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी है, लेकिन आज जो चल रहा है जनता इसमें खुश नहीं है। इसी के लिए 2-4 बात कहने के लिए हम आए हुए हैं।
ये धरना उनका है, धरना तो उनका है ना, तो बिल्कुल अच्छी बात है, सब रहेंगे उसमें।
आप रहेंगे? आप रहेंगे सर? आप
रहेंगे, हम क्यों रहेंगे? धरना तो है ना, धरना अच्छी बात है।
Now let's take a look at what else is slated for the day in the day ahead. The Supreme Court will hear a plea seeking transfer of Mohammad Shahabuddin's criminal cases from Siwan to another jail in his trial in Delhi. The Apex Court will also hear a plea for the handing over of the cases of the RJD strongman to the CBI. On Monday, the Apex Court had mulled shifting RJD strongman from Siwan jail to the Tihar Central Jail, saying that it is a test case for the concept of fair trial and witness protection. BJP President Amit Shah will address a Parivartan Yatra in Maharajganj of Uttar Pradesh. The party is organizing the Parivartan Yatra to create a positive wave in UP ahead of the next year assembly elections. The Yatras would culminate in Lucknow on the 24th of December, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing a rally. General Qamar Javed Bajwa will take charge of the Pakistani army from General Rahil Sharif, who will retire today after the end of his 3-year term. General Rahil will become the first army chief in more than 20 years in Pakistan step down at the end of his term. Previous army chiefs have either obtained extensions or staged a coup. The Punjab delegation led by Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal and the Haryana delegation led by Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar met President Pranab Mukherjee on Monday evening at his residence and asked him to resolve the differences over the SYL Canal issue after the Supreme Court's verdict favoured Haryana. Khattar, who was the first to visit Rashtrapati Bhavan, asked the President to ensure that the Apex Court verdict is implemented so that Haryana gets its due. However, Badal declared that the central government had in fact no role in the water disputes, while stressing that Punjab's agriculture sector would be severely affected if the verdict is implemented, since the centre is heavily dependent on the state for the National Food Security Act to function. The delegation from Punjab, however, sought the President to not accept any advice that goes against the basic principle. The Apex Court had termed the law passed by Punjab in 2004 to terminate the SYL Canal water sharing agreement with neighbouring states unconstitutional.
महोदय के पास सभी एक प्रतिनिधिमंडल सभी दलों का हरियाणा की जनता की ओर से आज हम उनको मिलकर आए हैं कि अपनी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका को निभाते हुए और इस निर्णय को लागू कराएं ताकि हरियाणा को एसवाईएल के माध्यम से जो अपना शेयर है पानी का वो सब मिले। इस निर्णय के लागू होने से ही हरियाणा की जनता, और मैं यहां तक कहूंगा कि क्योंकि हमारा एक फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर है इस देश का, संविधान के हिसाब से ही सब सारा शासन प्रक्रिया सब चलती है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच ने ये निर्णय किया है और उस निर्णय के अनुसार जो पंजाब की असेंबली ने हमारे एग्रीमेंट को निरस्त किया था, वो एक्ट पंजाब का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसको रद्द किया है और अब निश्चित रूप से वो पानी हरियाणा का हिस्सा हरियाणा को मिले और हम हरियाणा का हिस्सा जो है वही पानी लाने के लिए कह रहे हैं। इसमें पंजाब का कोई पानी लेने की बात नहीं है।
मैनू दुख नाल कहना पैंदा है कि पंजाब नाल शुरू तो ही बहुत वड्डियां बेइंसाफियां हुई, धार्मिक बेइंसाफियां भी हुई, पोलिटिकल भी हुई और सियासी भी हुई। पानी का मसला जिहड़ा है ये बहुत गंभीर मसला है। जो अज देश की फूड सिक्योरिटी है वो पंजाब से निर्भर है और पंजाब वो भी ड्यूटी तां दे रहा है कि उहदे कोले पानी है। पानी एक स्टेट वास्ते नैचुरल रिसोर्स है, ना किसी स्टेट ने दिता है ना गवर्नमेंट ने दिता है, वो कुदरत ने दिता है।
With that, a quick break. We'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
Harappan sites are a treasure trove of sophisticated pottery. These creations show tremendous advances by the potter's wheel. Creations like the perforated jar, the copper axe, the chisel and knives astound even present-day archaeologists. Figurines depicting yoga poses, chess pieces display a complexity unsurpassed even by later-day civilizations, all of which make the Harappan civilization truly unique.
Welcome back. Now let's get you more national news. And in the Nabha jailbreak case, Khalistan Liberation Force Chief Harminder Singh Mintu was sent to a 7-day police custody by a Delhi court on Monday. Mintu was nabbed from the Delhi railway station a day after he escaped with 5 other inmates from the prison. Punjab police said that Mintu was in touch with terror groups in Pakistan and that the dreaded terrorist would be subject to intensive interrogation when he would be brought from Delhi after his remand period was over. The alleged mastermind of the daring daylight jailbreak, Parminder Singh, was also sent to a 14-day judicial custody by a court at Kairana in Shamli in Uttar Pradesh. During interrogation, Parminder told police that 8 persons were involved in the incident and the 5 fugitives were in Karnal and Panipat in search of a hideout. The police are on a high alert in Haryana, Delhi, UP and Uttarakhand as the manhunt continues to nab the escapees. On Monday, the Uttarakhand police arrested 2 persons for allegedly providing logistical support to the gangsters involved in the Nabha jailbreak case. Meanwhile, Punjab Congress Chief Amrinder Singh wrote to Home Minister Rajnath Singh demanding a dismissal of the Prakash Singh Badal-led government. He also demanded a CBI probe into the incident, saying that a fair investigation would not be possible under the Punjab police. But Punjab's Deputy CM Sukhbir Badal labelled the jailbreak as an unfortunate incident and said that law and order situation in the state was under control.
पंजाब में सबसे बेहतर है। पंजाब की स्टेट एक ऐसी स्टेट है, मोस्ट पीसफुल स्टेट है। पिछले 7-8 साल में आपने देखा होगा यहाँ ऐसी कोई वारदात नहीं हुई। ये बड़ा एक अनफॉर्चुनेट इंसिडेंट हुआ है। हमने जो जेल सुपरिटेंडेंट और जेल के ऑफिसर्स उनको सस्पेंड भी कर दिया है और डिसमिस कर दिया नौकरी से। उनको इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है और जो मेन कॉन्स्पिरेटर था जिसने ये भगाए थे उसको भी हमने यूपी से पकड़ लिया और जो मेन टेररिस्ट भागा था उसको हमने दिल्ली से पकड़ लिया और बाकी के पीछे अब पुलिस पड़ी है।
In other news, the BJP has emerged as a major gainer in the first phase of the municipal council polls in Maharashtra on Monday. The party won 851 seats across 164 urban local bodies. The results were a setback for the Congress and the NCP. Elections were held for 3,705 seats spread over the 147 municipal councils and 17 Nagar Panchayats. Of the 147 municipal councils where municipal chiefs were elected directly, BJP nominees won at 52 places. The BJP made inroads into the Congress and NCP strongholds, winning 851 seats. The elections across 25 districts in Maharashtra were seen as a mini assembly polls and a test of popularity of Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted over the election win as well, saying that it is a win for pro-poor and development politics of the BJP. The elections were seen as a litmus test for the BJP following the demonetization move. Meanwhile, tributes continue to pour in for Fidel Castro, considered one of the most prominent world leaders of the 20th century. However, most countries apart from Latin American nations will be sending just middle-ranking delegations for the funeral ceremony of Fidel Castro, as top leaders have opted out. India, of course, will be represented by Home Minister Rajnath Singh.
Thousands of Cubans paid final respects to revolutionary leader Fidel Castro at Havana's Revolution Square on Monday. The government has invited people to the square for a 2-day commemoration that started with a 21-gun salute heard throughout the capital city, Havana. A large photograph of the Cuban leader now overlooks the Revolution Square, where a memorial service will be held on Tuesday.
Yo pienso que no haya ningún cambio, que todo continúe como hasta ahora, porque el pueblo apoya el socialismo, apoya a su dirigente.
Sigue todo igual porque él nos preparó para eso. Nos venía preparando hace muchos años. Y todos los que nacimos con la revolución tenemos que seguir luchando por ella.
Hoy es un día para mí doloroso, porque hemos perdido a nuestro comandante en jefe, físicamente, porque lo tenemos y lo tendremos siempre en el corazón.
That the legacy of Fidel Castro is felt far beyond the island of Cuba was on full display in Quito as Ecuadorians gathered outside the National Theatre for a tribute concert. Castro was an inspirational figure for much of Latin America and parts of the world that struggled against colonial rule. While Cuban embassies paid homages to Castro, world leaders including US President Barack Obama, Russian President Vladimir Putin, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and British Prime Minister Theresa May will not attend Castro's funeral on December 4. Union Home Minister Rajya will lead the 8-member Indian delegation to attend pre-funeral commemoration of Castro. The multi-party delegation will leave for Havana on Wednesday and is expected to return on Thursday evening.
In the statement, the Secretary General said that President Fidel Castro will be remembered for his leadership of the Cuban Revolution and for advances in Cuba in the fields of education, literacy, and health. His revolutionary ideals left few indifferent. And the Secretary General went on to add that he hopes that Cuba will continue to advance on a path of reform, greater prosperity, and human rights.
Castro was cremated on Saturday and a 9-day period of mourning declared. His cremated ashes will be laid to rest at Santiago de Cuba, the birthplace of the revolution, when the mourning period ends on December 4. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And here's a look at what else is making news across the country and nationwide. Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt was appointed as the next Director General of Military Operations on Monday, replacing Lieutenant General Ranbir Singh. The appointment was cleared by the Appointment Committee of the Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Bhatt is at present posted in the Army headquarters as the Additional Director General of Complaint and Advisory Board. Delhi Police has raised the reward from 5 lakh to 10 lakh rupees for anyone providing any clue that could help in finding JNU student Najib Ahmed, who has been missing for over a month now. Delhi Police Commissioner Alok Kumar Verma approved the increase in the reward amount. Najib had gone missing on the 15th of October following an on-campus scuffle, allegedly with ABVP members. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Monday accused the Shunglu Committee, which examined hundreds of decisions taken by the AAP government, of implicating his deputy Manish Sisodia in a wrong case and claimed that the centre was planning to get him arrested before the polls in Punjab next year. Kejriwal's allegations came a day after the panel submitted its report to Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung after scrutinizing around 400 files based on which the AAP government had taken key decisions since it came to power in February 2015. Well, more international news, and US President-elect Donald Trump has threatened to end the US thaw with Cuba unless Havana makes concessions on human rights and opening up its economy. In a tweet, Trump said, "If Cuba is unwilling to make a better deal for the Cuban people, the Cuban American people, and the US as a whole, I will terminate the deal." Trump's hardline came just a day after his senior advisors promised to strike a better deal with the communist-ruled island after former leader Fidel Castro's death, without stating how this might affect the historic rapprochement begun under US President Barack Obama. While prominent Republicans have blasted Castro as a murderous tyrant since his death, no one close to Trump had directly threatened to end the political opening announced in 2014 by Obama and his Cuban counterpart Raul Castro until Trump's tweet. The team has said that the outgoing Democratic administration made too many concessions to Havana, notably by easing the 1962 US economic embargo without receiving enough concessions in areas like human rights, democracy, and the move towards a free market economy. Meanwhile, Syrian government forces have captured more than a third of rebel-held territory in eastern Aleppo. The insurgents, facing aerial bombardment and ground attacks, have been driven out of their long-held enclave in eastern Aleppo. After further fighting on Monday, the rebels have lost all of the northern neighborhoods they controlled, leaving them with under two-thirds of the territory they had in the city. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, though, said that the northern portion of eastern Aleppo lost by the rebels amounted to more than a third of the territory they'd held, calling it the biggest defeat for the opposition in Aleppo since 2012. Thousands of residents were reported to have fled. Hundreds of families have been displaced. However, civilians expressed relief after fleeing from the rebel-held eastern Aleppo, saying that rebels tried to bar them from leaving.
كنا مخنوقين ما بيخلونا نطلع كل ما نجي نطلع بيقولوا عننا نحن شبيحة.
الحمد لله جينا هون الحمد لله بخير. كنا عايشين كله بسل وجينا احنا كنا على الطريق صار يضرب علينا رصاص. الحمد لله لما جينا هون وارتحنا.
السوري نحمد ونشكره على كل ما علمنا لا رئيسنا الجمهورية
Now back to the US, and officials have said that a man who injured 11 people, one critically, in a rampage at the Ohio State University was of Somali descent and a student on campus. Abdul Razak Ali Artan, 18-year-old, rammed his car into a group of pedestrians at the college and then got out and began stabbing people before police shot him dead. The police chief said that they were investigating whether the incident was a terrorist attack. Many police vehicles were at the scene, and police also blocked off roads around the perimeter of the campus, clogging area traffic. The FBI joined the inquiry at the 60,000 student campus in Columbus, and according to reports, Artan was a Somali refugee who was living in the US as a legal permanent resident.
About 9:52 a.m., a male suspect drove a vehicle over the curb, West 19th, west of College Avenue, struck pedestrians. He exited the vehicle and used a butcher knife to start cutting pedestrians. Our officers was on scene in less than a minute, and he ended the situation less than a minute. He engaged the suspect and he eliminated the threat. The suspect is DOA.
The president was briefed this morning by Lisa Monaco, who is his top Homeland Security advisor. The president asked to be updated on the investigation. I know that local law enforcement officials have indicated that the situation in Columbus is no longer active. The site has been secured.
And quickly, a cricket update. India closer to victory in the Mohali Test as England resumed their second innings on day 4 today. Starting the day at 78 for 4, the visitors lost Gareth Batty to Ravindra Jadeja without adding to the total, while pacer Umesh Yadav removed Josh Butler for 18 runs as England slipped to 107 for 6 in the first session. English batsman Joe Root is still at the crease and has completed his half-century. On day 3, Ravichandran Ashwin in fact rattled the England's top order as he captured 3 wickets, while spinner Jayant Yadav picked 1 wicket. Earlier, the Indian team posted a commendable 417 to take a 134-run first innings lead. Ravindra Jadeja smashed his way to a career-best 90 as the lower middle order came good again. England made 283 in their first innings. India is currently leading the 5-match series 1-0. They had won the last game at Visakhapatnam by 246 runs, while the first test ended in a draw. And on that good note, that's it on The Breakfast Show. Thanks so much for joining us.